and the omnibus. So I was forced into the Archers when I was a child. And look, it's come back to bite me later on. I'm awash with this stuff.
The Archers is the world's longest-running radio show, with more than 15,000 episodes broadcast. Despite being a rural flavour show, The Archers is recorded in the heart of...
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we've got a really interesting set of sources. We're going to be digging into human behavior under, well, frankly, a lot of pressure. Secret romance, public shame, and some serious workplace stress.
That's right. It's almost like a case study in, high-stakes emotional management. We're seeing how people handle secrets, the fun kind and the not-so-fun kind, and how quickly things can unravel when authority gets challenged.
Yeah, so our mission here is to really unpack what went down. We've got two main threads, right? There's this sort of chaotic morning after situation.
Right, the clandestine part.
Exactly. And then there's the fallout from this big family feud, this stress spiral that's happening. We need to pull out the psychological nuggets from all this plot.
Okay, sounds good. Where do we start?
Okay, let's kick off with that chaotic morning, Rory and Paul. We find them, and the source mentions this single bed, a bit cramped, which tells you something right there.
Suggests things went pretty well the night before, but that peace doesn't last long, does it? Not at all. It shatters the second Rory sees the clock. 8:20 a.m. Instant panic.
Right, because the farm calls. That seed order for the autumn planting winter weeds suddenly becomes priority number one. Romance out, farm chores in.
It's that clash, isn't it? Duty versus, well, this secret thing they've got going on.
Yeah.
And it means they need a plan. Fast. Rory has to see his dad.
But they can't be seen together, so Paul offers to run interference, check if the coast is clear, maybe grab a coffee sneakily.
It really shows how much effort goes into keeping something like this under wraps, especially when you live together or, in the same space.
Yeah, you have to constantly switch modes. 1 minute you're intimate, the next you're practically strangers, just to keep up appearances.
And this secrecy leads to, honestly, one of the funniest moments. Lily comes back upstairs for her phone.
Oh yeah, go on.
And Rory's instant reaction, he has to army roll into the airing cupboard.
An army roll into the airing cupboard. That's commitment to the cause.
Right. And the detail about the cupboard being a bit of a pink story. It just adds this layer of, domestic absurdity to the whole frantic escape.
You couldn't make it up. But just as they think they're in the clear,
Ben shows up, just dropping off posts for Josh, supposedly. But his comment...
oh, the knowing comment. Good night, was it?
Exactly. And then that sarcastic follow-up. I absolutely never could have predicted things might end up like this.
So much for secrecy. Ben clearly suspects, or maybe even knows, it just ramps up the pressure, shows their little charade probably isn't working as well as they think.
Yeah, that external perspective is like a little reality check.
Yeah.
But the really interesting stuff, I think, comes later, over lunch.
The panini debrief.
Yes. Paul brings paninis roasted veg and halloumi, or chicken pesto, the important details. And they actually talk about them.
They go back to that initial agreement, right? The one-night thing script.
Because neither of them was looking for a relationship at the moment. Standard line.
It's a classic defense mechanism, isn't it? Trying to keep things contained, emotionally safe. But then Paul, he kind of cuts through it.
He does. He asks Rory, basically, are we just saying that? Or do we actually like each other, but we're just scared?
That's the direct question, and
It works. Rory admits it. I really like him. Just like that.
So, beneath all the hiding and the casual talk, there are real feelings brewing. The fear was the driver, not the lack of interest.
Exactly. It shows how these intense, slightly ridiculous situations, the cramped bed, the cupboard diving, can actually push the emotional stuff forward faster than planned.
Intense situations definitely accelerate things. Okay, so that's one thread, but we need to pivot now to the other major storyline, the heavier one. Brian.
Right, Brian's fallout. He leaves Rory with the farm stuff so he can go try and patch things up with Alice. She's in early.
His goal seems simple enough.
Yeah.
He wants her to accept his apology for the fight at the Harvest Festival. Says he sent messages.
But Alice isn't having it.
Yeah.
At all. She says accepting the apology wouldn't be true. She is still furious.
And crucially, why is she furious? It's not just that he fought.
No, it's the public nature of it. He got thrown out for fighting in front of the whole school. Her main worry is her daughter, Martha.
The social fallout. She's scared Martha will be made a laughingstock, that the parents will gossip for months and it'll get back to the kids.
Exactly. It's about protecting her child from that humiliation.
And Brian, does he get that part initially?
Not really. His first reaction is quite dismissive, like, oh, children don't really care about that sort of thing, do they? He totally misses the point about the parents.
That shows a real disconnect. He's focused on his fight with Justin, maybe feeling wrongly accused or provoked. She's focused entirely on the consequence for Martha.
It's only when she spells out the parent gossip angle that he seems to grasp it. He admits, I hadn't thought of that.
See, that's why the apology failed. He was sorry for what he did, maybe, but not sorry for the impact it had on Alice and potentially Martha. He hadn't understood her actual pain point.
Yeah, it's a classic case of apology mismatch. You have to understand why the person is hurt.
Precisely. And that incomplete understanding, that lingering anger from Alice, that sets the stage for the next key interaction, doesn't it, with Lillian?
Yes, Lillian comes in. She said she's worried about Alice, about her terrible mood.
But Brian's immediate reaction isn't, oh no, how's Alice really doing? Is it?
Nope. It's instant defense mode. Blame shifting. Justin started it. He was winding me up.
Textbook.
Yeah.
He's externalizing the blame. It wasn't his lack of control. It was Justin's provocation. He can't own his part in it.
Which prompts Lillian's great line, telling me he sounds like one of the kiddies dressed up as a carrot.
A bit funny, but it's sharp. She cuts through the childish excuse-making, and then she gets serious.
Very serious.
Yeah.
She connects the dots. She tells him this fight isn't just a random outburst.
Right. She diagnoses it as a symptom of the immense stress he's under, trying to run the farm basically alone since Stella left. She uses the word burnout.
And warns him that this anger and bitterness towards Justin, it's eating him up. It's affecting his health. Badly.
It's a direct psychological intervention. She's saying, this isn't about Justin anymore, Brian. This is about you falling apart.
Does he accept the diagnosis?
He kind of acknowledges the stress, yeah, but his response is pure helplessness, or maybe defiance. What choice have I got?
He mentions Rory helping with seed orders and Adam being there full-time now.
As if that's just minor help. But Lillian sees them as his lifeline. Her solution is clear: delegate. Let them do more, accept help, you need them now.
She's essentially telling him his survival depends on letting go of some control.
Exactly. It's a management issue, masking a deeper psychological refusal to seem weak, perhaps.
Could be. And just as Lillian's making this crucial point, there's an interruption, isn't there? Some news comes in.
Yes, Alice returns, and she actually has some good news, surprisingly.
Right. Chris called her after the school run. He spoke to Martha's teacher.
And the verdict?
Apparently, hardly anyone had noticed the fight. Someone thought maybe one of them had taken ill, but that was it. And crucially, Martha was seen surrounded by friends, playing happily.
Wow. Okay, so the big fear
Evaporated. Alice is hugely relieved. Martha isn't going to be ostracized. The immediate social crisis is over.
which is great news for Martha, obviously, but what does that do to the pressure on Brian?
Well, that's the twist, isn't it? The immediate, tangible consequence that was fueling Alice's anger. It's gone. Which kind of lets Brian off the hook in a way.
Paradoxically, the good news might actually reinforce his resistance to change. The external crisis passed, so the internal problem, the stress, the feud can just keep going.
Lillian tries to use the moment, though. She doubles down, saying farmers find accepting help very difficult, urging him again, take a step back.
Alice jumps in too, echoing Lillian. Take more of a step back, let go of needing to be across every little detail. They're pleading with him, essentially, for his own sake.
But Brian digs his heels in even harder now. How does he frame it?
He sees stepping back, delegating, accepting help as losing, as letting Justin get what he wants. It's all filtered through the rivalry now. Professional well-being is secondary to winning the feud.
Wow. Which leads Alice to that final, really pointed question.
Yeah.
She challenges his earlier apology directly,
Yeah. But you're not sorry at all, are you?
and his answer tells you everything.
It really does. He clarifies, I'm sorry to you and to Martha, okay, fine. But crucially, not to Justin.
The apology was conditional, limited. It didn't touch the core issue.
Not at all. And then he delivers that final line, that vow.
Yeah.
It's quite chilling, really. He won't get away with this, Alice. I'll fight him and I'll win if it's the last thing I do.
Ugh. Talk about self-destructive. So looking back at the two threads, it's a real contrast. Rory and Paul facing their fear, admitting feelings, choosing vulnerability.
And Brian facing an intervention about his health and stress, choosing more conflict, more resentment, digging himself deeper into that feud.
What's the big takeaway here, do you think?
Well, I think it shows how relief from one crisis, Martha being okay, can accidentally give someone permission to continue down a harmful path. Brian didn't have to face the immediate social fallout, so the deeper issue, his burnout and obsession with Justin, just gets reinforced. He's choosing the fight because maybe right now it feels like the only thing he can control, even if it's destroying him.
That makes sense. Lillian offered him a way out, delicate, accept help, focus on his health, but he rejected it because winning against Justin feels more important.
Which brings us to that final thought for you listening. Brian has defined his purpose now as beating Justin, no matter the cost to himself or his family, apparently. If he actually wins this fight, whatever that even looks like, what's the real price?
Yeah, what does winning mean when the battle itself consumes everything else? What's the true cost of holding on to a feud like that?
Something to definitely think about. How rivalry and stress can twist our priorities.
Absolutely. Well, that's all we have time for on this deep dive. Thanks for joining us as we navigated secret cupboards and simmering feuds. We'll see you next time.
So, what are you doing now?
Just getting ready for the next episode. Just
And,
moving mics around.
So, what do you do?
I do the spot effects on the archers. Any
Are you what we
movements
call Foley then?
and- kind of. Yep.
Okay. And these are all part of the paraphernalia of production.
Yep. That's the ball bar. That's.
This one.
Yep. That's.
Haley so wanted to be in their own place when their baby came. It's due in 2 months. Not much chance of that now. No. I mean, it would have been a stretch for them financially, mind, but I just wish there was something practical I could do to help them, Caroline.
I think The Archers has had this immense popularity over the years, basically because it has always very accurately reflected the reality of life and living in a rural community at whatever